celebrity drama?
Drew Sidora, they're giving the vibes as if she's dating Portia's ex.
Oh my God.
Check. Music, movies, and viral moments.
Gabrielle Union came out and said that she was doing 50-50 with Dwayne Wade. I have that audio just in case you didn't remember, so let's listen to that.
Check. Exclusives. Come on, y'all. Y'all know I got that over here.
Whatever Loren says, Lord, yo.
The show with all the hot takes, zero filter. Welcome to The Latest with Loren LoRosa. I'm Loren LoRosa, and I'm going to be bringing you guys where pop culture meets personalities. And over here, baby, we are doing all the things. Give me my tens, because we're going to have a good time.
Hey, y'all. What's up? It's Loren LoRosa, and this is The Latest with Loren LoRosa. Now, this is your daily dig on all things pop culture, entertainment news, exclusives, because y'all know I bring them exclusives, and all of the conversations that shake the room. Now, speaking of the room, you guys will notice here in the video that we are in a new room. We are in a new home, and we're going to tell you guys all about it in a social media clip. So make sure you are subscribed to Loren LoRosa TV, because that's where you're going to get the explanation of why we are here and what you see and what is going on. But I know y'all are just happy to have some video back, so let's get on into the latest. Now, typically, we do the behind the scenes of the grind check-in, but let me tell y'all, okay, my wig is snatched. And y'all know, it takes a lot for my wig to be snatched, because normally, baby, is a fried, dye, and laid to the side. Or maybe I shouldn't say fried, because fried is not. That's not the best term to say when you're talking about your wig. But what I'm saying is it takes a lot to, like, throw me off a bit. And today, I was getting ready to come in here and, record the podcast. I had my whole episode ready, all the things we were going to talk about. And then Donald Trump decides to get on Truth Social and respond to Charlamagne, who went on Fox News and said this. Let's take a listen.
I do think, and this is I think that traditional conservatives are going to take the Republican Party back. I think there's a political coup right now in the Republican Party that people aren't paying attention to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think that this Epstein thing is going to be a way for traditional conservatives to take their party back. I really do. I think that they know this is the issue that has gotten the base riled up. The MAGA base isn't letting this issue go, and for the first time, they know they can, probably take their party back and not piss off the MAGA base.
Now, here's the thing. This is not anything that Charlamagne has not been saying for, I think, I would say for the last month, maybe 2 months. He's been having this conversation about Epstein and why Democrats should not let up on it, why this should be, the hot button topic that Democrats lean in on the same way that Republicans lean in on, transgender conversations and, all those things, right? Like, they have their topic that they lean in on heavily. They use it to incite the masses and get people listening and show, okay, here's what we can do. And they're changing laws and changing rules and all these things. That has been Charlamagne's point for the last 2 months, right? And he's been saying it and yelling it and screaming it. But baby, when he sat across from Laura Trump and said it, oh, the people is upset. I tweeted out just the videos from the interview, and I ain't never seen, I thought the shade room comments got messy. Baby, I ain't never seen that many people arguing about the things. You got some people feeling like Donald Trump gathered Charlamagne. You got some people feeling like literally one girl said, I've never wanted Charlamagne to be right as much as I want him to be right about what he just said on Fox News with Laura Trump. And I think the reason is to his point, people want something new. Let me not say we. Some of y'all thought that, having Donald Trump in office would be the key to whatever it is that you need, whether it's more money in your household, the price of groceries going down, being able to go work a job and, not be targeted because you're a person of color working that job, or, not feel like you're just checking a box under DEI, and just having DEI even exist so that you could even walk through the doors of the job. Let's talk about that, right? But other people feel like the complete opposite. Now, let's get into what Trump actually said. So Trump got on Truth Social, which is his version of X, and he said, the wonderful and talented Laura Trump, whose show is big rating success, put racist sleazebag Charlamagne the God. First of all, I don't even believe that Black people can be racist, but that's a whole nother conversation. Argue with your mom. And he put in parentheses, why is he allowed to use the word God At least he capitalized God, because you should. When describing himself, can anyone imagine the uproar there would be if I used that nickname? He doesn't have to. He's already positioned himself well above dictatorship. He's a low IQ individual. He has no idea what words are coming out of his mouth, and he knows nothing about me or what I've done. This is what Trump is referring to when he says Charlamagne knows nothing about him or what he's done.
When you ask me, what do I think President Trump has done over the last 6 months, I don't want to say that I think he did a terrible job, but if he's doing a terrible job, I got to call it like it is.
Trump then continues, like just ending 5 wars, including, mind you, let me just say for, clarification here and for all purposes, I don't know if any of this is true. I am not the, political voice or face. I know enough to get me to the ballot. I know enough to try and keep me safe. In this last election, it did not work, but I know enough, right? But I don't know if all this is true. And we know that President Trump loves to Trump things and speak very President Trump-ish. But he lists some things that he says that he's done. So President Trump says he's ended 5 wars, including a 31-year bloodbath between Republicans of the Congo and Rwanda, where 7 million people have died, and there was no end in sight. He didn't know that, or India and Pakistan, or wiping out Iran's nuclear capabilities. I know that, he sent the strikes over there to Iran, or closing the horrendous open border, or creating the greatest economy where prices and inflation have come way down, and where stupid, and he put stupid in caps, and corrupt in caps, Joe Biden, of course Joe Biden is in all caps, set the record for doing the worst job as president ever. Ever is in all caps. But let's not shy away from the fact that Charlamagne actually says while here on Fox News, or while they're on Fox News, that he's been critical of Joe Biden as well. Let's take a listen to that.
I gave President Biden the same hell too, because I didn't think he was doing a good job. All we want is somebody in those positions that's going to do a good job. I'm not a party person in no way, shape, or form. I want to say I'm an independent, but that don't make no sense because there's only 2 parties in this country, right? So you're going to end up voting for one of the other.
Trump continues, but this dope, Charlamagne, I'm surprised if he's saying he thinks Charlamagne is dope, or is he saying that like Charlamagne is on dope. But this dope, Charlamagne, will vote for Sleepy Joe or Kamala. Remember, 1 year ago, our country was dead. Dead is in all caps. Now it's the hottest, because hottest is in all caps, country anywhere in the world, MAGA. We also got to remember, too, that I would say, what was that, like a year ago now? Some time ago, Charlamagne was getting dragged. I mean, every auntie, every black church, every political head, black, white, or indifferent, that was, for the Dems, especially if you were black, Charlamagne wasn't your friend. Y'all remember that? Because he was saying things like this.
Donald Trump shows me what's politically possible. Trump shows me what presidents can do if they want to do it. Donald Trump shows me what can be said if you are willing to say it. It's not about what can't be done. It's about who has the political will to do it. I don't want to hear a peep from Democrats about nothing until they get the say what's really on their mind in regards to this country and this world. Trump doesn't care if it sounds ridiculous. Trump doesn't care if it makes sense. It's no political correctness whatsoever. As I've been saying for years, the language of politics is dead, and Donald Trump killed it, period.
So for people to use this as a moment of but wait, weren't you all for Sleepy Joe and all the things, and we got to get Charlamagne up out of here? To be honest with y'all, the day that Kamala won, we were in D.C. The Breakfast Club broadcasted from D.C. We broadcasted from Howard University, and, it was supposed to be historic. Like, Kamala Harris was going to win the election, black woman, and, after defeating Donald Trump, and we would be at Howard University, her alma mater, and, all things black would go down in celebration, and we were there, and it just didn't feel like that was what was going to happen after a while. And you're there in real time watching it happen. We ended up leaving before she was even able to come out and make the small remarks. No, I don't even think she came out and made remarks that night. But we ended up leaving nonetheless. We left before the actual voter night ceremony at Howard University was over. But I remember we broadcasted from Maryland the next morning. And I remember texting Charlamagne and saying, what are you going to get on air and say tomorrow? Because everybody listens to you when it comes to politics. Everybody I know listens to Charlamagne. And I don't think it's because I think here, when Trump is talking about IQ and what he does or he doesn't know, I think a lot of times with politics, and Charlamagne has actually credited Donald Trump for doing this. A lot of times with politics, people would like to make it seem like if you don't know everything, if you can't rattle off every poll number or every mass world event, you shouldn't be speaking and people should not be listening to you. But ironically enough, what Charlamagne has given Donald Trump credit for is going right through that and making it clear that that is not true. But Donald Trump is using the same rhetoric that people will throw at everyday people, and honestly, that a lot of the Democrats have gotten shit for, right? Because a lot of the Democrats, people like to say they're elitist. They only want to talk and listen to each other, and when I say each other, I mean those people that I mentioned, the people who can rattle off all the numbers and all this, not the everyday people who are going through these things, who they might not know everything, but they know what they're experiencing every single day. And I think Donald Trump is missing the fact that, because even Laura Trump said it on her show, Donald Trump is missing the fact that the everyday people, the listener to the Breakfast Club, to a voice like a Charlamagne, the God who is tuned in every day, who is relying on you to get information. So information, of course, and factual information is always important. But people just want to hear from someone who they believe feel them, that they can trust. And he has become that. Donald Trump is making it seem like he doesn't understand that or know that. But baby, Donald Trump ain't taking his time to type out this paragraph, this essay, this thesis, if he didn't believe it. I think the irony of politics always end up showing their hands, because how ironic that Donald Trump used the Breakfast Club, right, to lean into that hot button topic to try and help him create commercial ads to win the campaign against Kamala Harris. Y'all remember this?
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners, every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
Hell no, I don't want my taxpayer dollars going to that.
Kamala supports transgender sex changes in jail with our money.
Kamala even supports letting biological men compete against our girls in their sports. Kamala is for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
But at the same time, the minute that Charlamagne disagrees, and honestly, the disagreement wasn't even like a biased disagreement. It was very fair. It was, I have the right to criticize, and I don't believe that you were doing a good job, and so here's what I'm going to do, right? But the minute that he hears that on a platform that, you know, he obviously wants to promote Laura Trump, his daughter-in-law, so he's going to lean in, he's going to pay attention, he's going to give it light. He does. But it's insane because the same person that has this low IQ and has no idea of the words that are coming out of his mouth, you ran these ads, Donald Trump, a very long time, to the point where anywhere I went, whether I was in church, I was with my family, it was a family cookout, the reunion, you had the aunties mad at Sister Charlamagne the God, okay? Baby, I talk a lot about him not having a hairline. He might have grew one back from the stress if he leaned into the amount of people who were upset at the Breakfast Club for that Trump ad, because it was taken out of context, number one. They were never campaigning for Trump or anything that he was doing. They were having a conversation about some of the trans law and trans conversation. But it's just ironic, right? But that's how this politics thing go. And that's what I'm beginning to learn. Is like, all of this is a facade. People don't really know who they're against, who they're with, nothing at all. There was one part of this interview, though, that I feel like a lot of people are not going to focus on, because it's not the, hey, this is the argument between Trump and Charlamagne point. It is not the catty housewives vibe. But to my point of focusing on the people and what the people actually care for, what the people actually want done, and finding a person who actually cares about that and wants to get it done, and not just their hot button topic and using people when it makes sense for them and then going against these people or going at these people when it makes sense for them, right? Donald Trump talks about fake news and how the news is sensationalized, and he just, got this settlement, this huge settlement, right? Because he claimed that 60 Minutes altered a Kamala Harris interview by editing the interview. Essentially, that leans into him feeling like, the news was going to be reported or displayed in a very disproportionate way. I think that it's funny that then you see Donald Trump right now. If you are a person who did not, and I don't know how you wouldn't if maybe you're under a rock, but if you're a person right now who knows nothing about the Breakfast Club, nothing about Charlamagne the God, you would think that Charlamagne is this non-neutral, heavily critical Trump hater. And I mean, we're not throwing a "we love you, welcome back" do the Harlem Shake on the Mace welcome back Donald Trump party when the man walked back in the office. But I think if we're being honest, a lot of people have had to come around to the point of the president is the president. So I'm going to criticize you the same way I was criticizing everybody else, because my main goal here is to get what I need as a United States citizen, to get what the people need as citizens. And he talked about that. Charlamagne talked about that with Lord Trump. Let's take a listen.
At the end of the day, man, regardless of who's in the White House, that person represents all of America. And I reserve the right to criticize both parties.
So I show all of this to you guys to say, Andy Cohen, you are focused on the wrong thing, baby. We need the real husbands of the White House, and we need it ASAP, because that's where all the drama is. One thing Donald Trump know how to do is start up a storyline. Because as y'all see, when he wants to use your voice, he uses it. When he wants to use your voice in another way, he uses it. I don't know. I'm feeling the real husbands of the White House. I don't know how y'all are feeling, or the real girls of the White House, because it's very catty. This gives, this is bitter baby mama energy, okay? And I expect more of the man who is in my White House. But again, he also left out a lot of words in this Truth Social post. He also left out a lot of grammar in this Truth Social post. He also left out a lot of common sense in this Truth Social post. So what do we expect? Now, if I'm taking it to the streets and the tweets.
You for the tweets.
We outside, we outside, we outside. Outside in the tweets.
Every other page I go.
I told y'all that I posted this as news. Make sure you guys are following me everywhere. It's Loren LoRosa everywhere. And Loren LoRosa Iconic on TikTok. Now, I do a lot of I do things that get the people going online as well, as far as posting my stories. I know, and when I do it, I don't do it to, get into the Trump of all of the things. I'm not trying to start the pot. I'm not trying to incite no riots. I'm just trying to cause good conversation, because that's what we do here at the latest, right? So when I posted this, I simply said, hey, and I tagged Charlamagne, Donald Trump is mad at you. And then I said, Trump is taking shots at Charlamagne the God via Truth Social following a Fox News sit down that he did. We are currently at almost 20,000 retweets. I'm sorry, almost 20,000 views. And that's I literally just did this, so it'll go bigger. But man, people are going crazy. So Uche, I believe that's how you say it. Uche said, quick, somebody send Trump a book on the 5% lesson, since he's so confused about someone using the God moniker. And then someone else, yeah, I'm Stacy. She responded and said, I can't even see if this is let me make my screen bigger, because I don't know if I'm Stacy is a guy or a girl, and I don't want to misgender. That would put me right where, Trump is. Yeah, I'm Stacy. Looks like a guy. Yeah, I'm Stacy said, but yet he used Charlotte for his campaign, ran paid ads with him and Envy's words to manipulate his fan base. Fraud. Woke and Present on X said, what makes him low IQ? Talking about Charlamagne. What makes him low IQ? What makes him a low IQ individual? Did Trump see his IQ results from the IQ test that he took? Or is it simply because he's black? Well, let me tell you something, Woke and Present. Charlamagne is a little slow. But I don't think that Trump has seen an IQ test. I think Charlamagne just wanted to throw something at him to get him going. Because, again, nothing was low IQ when he was using that ad to help him, get seated where he is right now. It's just so funny to me when people like to act like they don't understand the power of Black voice, the power of certain individuals. I've even seen a lot of y'all. There was a list going, I believe it was I don't even remember who made the list. There was a list going of Black men that the Black community did not want to see talk about politics anymore. It was these people don't stand for us, so stop inviting them on your platform. And Charlamagne was one of the people. I don't agree with that. And it's not just because I work at the Breakfast Club. This is something that even prior to, it was very clear to see that in a political space, when you're talking Black voice, there are talking heads, which is why a Biden comes on the Breakfast Club. And not even just talking heads, but Black spaces. There is no space right now in media that is as mass, as wide-ranging, as big, as diverse, and as long-running as the Breakfast Club. I challenge you guys, right? If you can find a media platform that reaches as many people, that covers as many wide range topics, that has the engagement in the numbers that the Breakfast Club does, the guests, in the intersection between culture, hip hop, politics, all the things. If you can find a show that does it, tweet me, at me. Y'all know I be outside in the streets and in the tweets. I want to know, because when people criticize platforms like the Breakfast Club and then moments like this happen, I'm like, do we, especially Black people, do we not see like why we should champion what we have? So like, if your issue is that the Breakfast Club doesn't always have all the information, say that. Don't say, hey, Breakfast Club should no longer exist, because obviously Donald Trump sees the beauty and the goldness in a Charlamagne the God, in a Breakfast Club. So does Laura Trump. They don't look like us. But that list that I'm talking to you about, that didn't come from a person that looks like them. It came from a person that looks like us. Y'all see where I'm getting at? So I'm going to head on out right now because I'm sure you guys are already pretty mad. But make sure you guys tune in. At the end of the day, I tell you guys all the time, there's always so much that we could be talking about. And y'all could be anywhere with anybody talking about it. But y'all choose to be right here with me when you do it. And I'm always so grateful for you guys, my low riders. Make sure you guys tune in for my next episode. I had a lot planned today, and then Trump decided to wake up, and I don't know. Charlamagne must didn't pay his child support on time. I don't know what's going down, but baby, it got the pot going. I will see you guys in the next episode with more. It's always the latest with Loren LoRosa.